All right, beginning of the hike. I'm doing a 3-day, 2-night up to San Gorgonio Peak. All right, on the trail. For those unfamiliar with the area, the South Fork trailhead is about a quarter mile from Jinx Lake in the San Bernardino National Forest. I took the 38 through Mentone and up by Forest Falls to get here. Just about an hour without traffic from Orange County, California. You do need a permit to backpack here. On the drive up, I saw probably 6 waterfalls off along the side of the road, and there's still, can't see yet, there's still a lot of snow up on Gorgonio. Plan is to camp one night about 4 miles from the top, do the summit in the morning, and then hike around the mountain and come down on the other side. Lots of wildlife up here. Bighorn sheep, black bear, mountain lion. So we'll see if we come across anything. All right. I made it to Horse Meadow Historic Site. It's showing on the map that it's 1.5 miles from the trailhead, and it's 7,500 feet elevation. Got a couple cabins here. Let me show you around. All right, here's the first building. Got some bones up on top. Then I'll walk through the meadow, and we got a second building over there. This cabin looks like it might be a little bit bigger. Be a nice place to head to. 1.5 miles, 3-mile round trip, hike up, have lunch. All right, small cabin. Has a pretty big crawl space. Horse Meadow. And I think I'm headed up that way towards the snow. All right, I'm taking a break at Poop Out Hill. It's about 2.5 miles into the hike and about 1,000 feet elevation gain. I probably passed several creek crossings, water sources since I left the horse camp, and I got about 3.5 miles to make it up to my campground where I'll be staying tonight. I'm at 8,200 feet. This is the Dry Lake, Dollar Lake Trail Junction. I'll be headed up to Dollar Lake today. And in a couple days, I'll be coming back down this direction from Dry Lake. Got 8,200 feet. Got about 2 more miles and another 1,000 feet of elevation gain before we get to Dollar Lake. Alright, first snow on the trail at about 9,000 feet. Alright, I just got water at Dollar Lake. It's about the size that I was expecting. Not very big, but the water is very clear. And it might appear to be a little bit bigger once the snow finishes melting. So it's about 7 a.m. The sun's coming up. It's warming things up already. I got like a 10.5 mile day, depending on the snow. I believe this side of this peak is north facing, so I'm hoping that when I get around to the other side of San Gorgonio, that the trail is clear, because I didn't bring micro spikes, and I might need a turn around when I get up to about 11,000 feet if it's real bad, but we'll find out. So I'm in the area for Dollar Lake campsite. As you can see, it's a bunch of dead trees, and the areas where I would think would be good for setting up the tent are still covered in a couple feet of snow. So there are very few options as far as where to put my tent. All packed up, ready to start my hike. It should be about 4 or 5 pounds lighter from yesterday, so see if I can tell the difference. Usually, can't really tell. And the trail's right up here. I don't know if you can see all the all the blow down. And then this is the Dollar Lake camping area, which I figured these big piles of snow would probably reveal maybe some nice campsites. I mean, about 2 or 3 weeks, but for right now, they're covered in snow. The map showing this is about 9,500 feet, and my high point for the day, if I make it up there, should be right there. San Gorgonio about 11,500. So I got 2,000 feet to climb. Alright, I made it to Dry Lake View, and Dry Lake View Camp. It's 10,500 feet, and it's about 2.3 miles to get to the top of San Gorgonio, which is right there. and that's 11,500 feet. So over the next 2.3 miles, I just have about 1,000 feet of elevation to climb. And I'm not going up on this side of the mountain. Alright, so about an hour ago I was on that side of this valley. Went out to Dry Lake View, had a snack. And I just got done crossing this section, which hopefully is the sketchiest part of this whole trip, because I could have used definitely micro spikes, maybe an ice axe, but definitely micro spikes. At least about halfway through, the snow started getting soft enough to where I would just sink right in it and have more footing. And once we go up here and turn around on the other side of this peak, there should be a lot more dirt. San Jacinto Peak. And approaching San Gorgonio. I'm at the Mineshaft Flat, San Gorgonio Junction. Dropped my pack here. It's 0.2 to the summit. So I'm going to go up 0.2, do a video, take a photo, come back, and then head it out that way. Made it. See it, I think that's Big Bear Lake in the distance, and then down here I believe that's Dry Lake, where I'll be camping tonight, and I should be coming down somewhere over there once I swing around the other side of Gorgonio. Alright, didn't spend much time up here. I got a long hike down to Dry Lake. Good news, it's all downhill the rest of the hike. Whew. That's good. Done with the uphill. Alright, looking back the way I came. I went up there a couple hours ago, dropped my pack there. San Gorgonio is kind of up behind here. And then just now I came through this way, and the trail's been pretty much dry. I think most of this section, hopefully, is like south facing, so it should have been getting a lot of sun hitting it. But yeah, so far so good. So as soon as I turned that corner, where I thought like, oh, it'll just be dirt trail the rest of the way. Nope. But I am losing elevation, so that should help. And this thing's getting it's been getting hit with the sun all day, so I'm just sinking in. I don't really have to worry about any ice, but it is steep. It looks even sketchier from this side. So I ended up losing the trail. Couldn't find the switchbacks. Everything was covered in snow. Ended up just glissading most of the way down. And I have a map with me. So the switchback should pick up somewhere right over here. All right. I made it to the San Gorgonio, Fish Creek, and Dry Lake Junction. I lost that trail for like 2 hours. Finally I found it. I have a map, so I knew where the trail was as far as what side of the mountain it was on. I just didn't know how high it was in relation to where I was at. But I only have I think 2.1 miles to camp. So hopefully I'm done with the snow, and I'll be at camp soon. Alright, this is the next morning at Dry Lake. Campgrounds at Dry Lake were much better than where I was the first night. Plenty of big open areas to put up a tent. Yeah, I haven't even explored all of it. It goes back that direction, but it looks like there's plenty of room for camping as opposed to Dollar Lake. Alright, brought my coffee down here to the lake, enjoying the last morning. It should be a pretty easy hike out of here. Nothing like yesterday. I definitely underestimated the amount of snow that I was going to encounter. I definitely recommend double checking the snow and bringing Microspike's ice axe if you need it. I got through without it, but it wasn't the safest it wasn't the safest trip I've had, but it was fun. And I think I have the lake all to myself. I didn't see anybody else camping this morning, so all this just waiting up here for somebody to come explore it. All right, show you the how the trail walks right along the edge of Dry Lake. And I was just talking to a guy that said he heard that the lake is only 8 feet deep and that most summers it dries up completely by July. But last year it didn't dry up at all. We had kind of record snowfall. And this year in Southern California we have, well, a ton of snow up on the mountain still, but we had record rainfall as well. Oh, so he's kind of thinking that it probably won't dry up this year as well. But pretty cool. Like, where can you walk on a trail on the edge of a lake in Southern California, backpacking, and the permits are free. Looks like I'm getting to the end of the lake. So about 8,200 feet coming down from Dry Lake. There's just a ton of water. Alright, I'm back at the junction, the Dry Lake, Dollar Lake junction, where I was just a couple days ago. And I got about 4 miles to the car. Alright, made it back to Poop Out Hill. I'm at like 7,800 feet. I'm going down to 6,800, and I have about 2.5 miles left on the trail. So when I started the hike, I thought this was San Jacinto, but after getting up to the top and seeing San Jacinto for sure, I think this is Mount Baden-Powell in Angeles National Forest. Alright, here we are back at Horse Camp, or Horse Meadow. From this point, it's only 1.5 to the trailhead. Alright, I'm wrapping up the hike. It was a 3-day, 2-night up to San Gorgonio. Only recommendations are check the snow report and bring crampons and an ice axe if you're going on what I think is like a heavier snow year. But yeah, pretty cool.